What Caitlin Clark just did embarrassed Cheryl Reeve, and the Team USA regret snubbing Caitlin Clark. In a display that can only be described as awe-inspiring, Caitlin Clark left everyone who doubted her eating their words. For anyone who's followed her journey, this wasn't just a basketball game, it was a statement. And that statement was loud and clear. As the dust settled, one thing became painfully obvious. Cheryl Reeve and Team USA had made a colossal mistake. They overlooked a star whose talent and charisma could have lit up their roster like a Christmas tree in Times Square. Clark didn't just shine. She practically burned down the house with her performance, leaving Reeve and her staff to reckon with the undeniable truth. They had snubbed a generational talent, and now they had to face the music. But before we proceed further, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Caitlin Clark's rise to stardom has been nothing short of meteoric, a trajectory that now seems almost inevitable in hindsight. From her early days in high school, where she was already dropping jaws with her range and court vision, to her collegiate career at Doha, Clark's game has been an ongoing spectacle of brilliance. Yet, somehow, Team USA and Cheryl Reeve managed to overlook her when constructing their roster. It's as if they were assembling a puzzle and left out the most crucial piece. Clark, with her sharp shooting, unrivaled basketball IQ, and uncanny ability to take over games, is the type of player who doesn't just play the game, she redefines it. And she did just that in front of a global audience, showing the world, and more painfully, Reeve, exactly what they had missed. In basketball, certain players have a knack for making everyone else on the court look like they're running in quicksand. Caitlin Clark is one of those players. Her performance was a masterclass in how to command a game, a showcase that had even the most seasoned basketball aficionados shaking their heads in disbelief. She weaved through defenses with the agility of a dancer, her movements almost poetic in their fluidity. Every shot she took, whether from beyond the arc or a mid-range jumper, seemed destined for the bottom of the net. It wasn't just her scoring that caught everyone's attention. It was the way she orchestrated the game, her passes threading through defenders with the precision of a surgeon. Watching Clark on the court, it was impossible not to wonder, how on earth did Team USA miss this? There's something almost Shakespearean about how Clark's story unfolded. The snub from Team USA could have easily been a setback for the young star, a chip on her shoulder that might have weighed her down. But instead, Clark took that slight and turned it into fuel for one of the most impressive displays of basketball prowess seen in recent memory. This wasn't just a performance, it was a reckoning. Every three-pointer, every assist, every steal felt like a direct response to being overlooked. It was as if Clark was saying, "You didn't want me. Well, watch this," and watch they did, with jaws slack and eyes wide, as she dismantled the competition with a kind of confidence that can't be taught. The irony of the situation isn't lost on anyone. Cheryl Reeve, known for her keen eye for talent and basketball acumen, must have had more than a few sleepless nights after watching Clark's performance. The decision to leave her off the roster now hangs like an albatross around the neck of Team USA's coaching staff. It's the kind of mistake that doesn't just haunt you. It follows you like a shadow, a constant reminder of what could have been. Imagine what Clark could have brought to the team. A scoring machine with the ability to change the course of a game single-handedly, a leader on the court whose varied presence demands respect. It's no exaggeration to say that Clark could have been the difference-maker, the player who pushes a good team into greatness. Instead, Team USA is left to watch from the sidelines as Clark shines brightly for another team, making it crystal clear just how badly they blundered. Clark's journey to this point is as compelling as it is inspiring. Growing up in West Des Moines, Iowa, she was always the standout, the kid who could dribble circles around her peers and shoot the lights out. Her high school career was a highlight reel, filled with buzzer beaters and jaw-dropping performances that had scouts and coaches alike scrambling to get a closer look. But it was at the University of Iowa where Clark truly came into her own. Under the guidance of Coach Lisa Bluter, she flourished, becoming not just a star, but a phenomenon. Her numbers were staggering, her influence on the game undeniable. Yet, for all her accolades, the one thing she couldn't do was convince Team USA to take a chance on her. That oversight, however, has become a blessing in disguise, allowing Clark to write her own story on her own terms. There's a certain poetic justice in how things have turned out. Clark, snubbed by those who should have seen her potential, went on to prove that she didn't need their validation. She let her game do the talking, and it spoke volumes. For every point she scored, every assist she dished out, there was a silent "I told you so" that echoed in the minds of everyone who had doubted her. But Clark, to her credit, never let the snub define her. She kept her head down, focused on her game, and when the time came, she delivered in a way that no one could ignore. Her performance wasn't just a middle finger to those who overlooked her. It was a reminder that true talent can't be kept down. The aftermath of Clark's performance has left a ripple effect that extends far beyond the court. Basketball analysts, fans, and even other players have weighed in on the situation, with many expressing disbelief that Clark was ever left off the roster in the first place. Social media buzzed with commentary, memes, and highlights of her game as the basketball community collectively shook its head at the missed opportunity. Clark's name trended for days as people from all corners of the sports world took notice of the young star who had taken the world by storm. Even those who weren't particularly interested in women's basketball found themselves caught up in the excitement, drawn in by the sheer force of Clark's talent and the drama of her story. In the world of sports, narratives like Clark's are rare but cherished. They are the stories that remind us why we watch in the first place: to witness greatness, to see the underdog triumph, to marvel at the unexpected. Clark's story has all the elements of a classic sports tale: the overlooked talent, the doubters, the moment of redemption. But what sets Clark apart is the way she handled it all, with grace, determination, and a healthy dose of swagger. She didn't need to make a scene or call out those who had snubbed her. She let her performance do all the talking. And in doing so, she not only embarrassed those who doubted her, but also solidified her place as one of the brightest stars in the game. For Cheryl Reeve and Team USA, the lesson is a harsh one. Talent like Clark's doesn't come around often, and when it does, it needs to be recognized, nurtured, and celebrated. The decision to leave her off the roster will go down as one of the great blunders in recent basketball history. A cautionary tale for those who underestimate the power of a single player to change the course of a game, a season, or even a legacy. Reeve, with all her experience and success, missed the mark on this one, and it's a mistake that will likely haunt her for a long time. In the world of basketball, as in life, you don't get many second chances. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, Team USA will be kicking themselves for missing theirs. Clark, on the other hand, seems to be taking it all in stride. She's never been one to dwell on the negatives or let setbacks define her. Instead, she's focused on what she does best, playing the game she loves with a passion that's impossible to ignore. And as she continues to light up courts around the world, it's clear that this is just the beginning for Caitlin Clark. The snub from Team USA may have been a defining moment, but it's not the end of her story. Far from it. In fact, it may have been the spark that ignites an even greater fire within her, driving her to reach heights that even her most ardent supporters couldn't have imagined. What Caitlin Clark did wasn't just about basketball. It was about proving a point, about showing that true talent can't be contained or overlooked. It was a reminder that sometimes the best stories aren't the ones that go according to plan, but the ones that take us by surprise. And in the world of sports, where narratives can change with the drop of a hat, Caitlin Clark's story is one that will be told for years to come. It's a story of resilience, of determination, and of a young woman who refused to be defined by others' expectations. And as for Cheryl Reeve and Team USA, they'll be left to wonder what might have been had they only seen what was right in front of them all along. Enjoyed our take on Caitlin Clark? Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more engaging content. We thrive on your feedback, so be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, keep discovering and stay tuned.